Hey everyone, I wanted to go over the new and exciting news that we got from Monster Hunter Stories 2, both on the Nintendo Switch and on PC. And thanks to their most recent Capcom presentation during Tokyo Game Show, we finally got confirmation pretty much on the dates, when and where and what will be added for the 5th game's update, pretty much adding in a couple of brand new monsties and of course a brand new monster with FATALIS being introduced. But before then, they finally reiterated that on September 30th, pretty much today, we're going to be able to get our hands on Molten Tigrex as a new monstie available into Monster Hunter Stories 2, again, on Switch and on PC. And of course, a co-op exclusive monster with Kulftaroth being added into high difficulty. There's going to be 4 new quests added, a co-op 8-star quest that's explorable called Dragon Eggs, specifically for Molten Tigrex, a co-op 9-star time quest called Fury of the Earth, a co-op 9-star Slate quest for Orochi Kirin. Do keep in mind that Orochi Kirin was added in the last update, but he didn't have a Slate quest added into the game last month. So pretty much we're now being able to see Orochi Kirin being able to have his very own specific Slate quest, so you can go ahead and kill it and farm it for parts as much as you want. Then of course, finally the last one is a delivery 4-star quest, a special quest called Go Nuts for Donuts. These are all the updates that we're going to be seeing for September 30th, pretty much today. So this should be live already. If you haven't necessarily updated your game, make sure you do so because it's already live right now. Heading into October 7th, we're going to be able to get a brand new monstie, obviously Dread King Rathalos. And along with him, we're going to be able to see, I believe it's 7 new quests. A 9-star co-op quest, an explorable quest called Elder Dragon Den. This one is for Dread King Rathalos. Also, like most of the quests that we're actually getting on October 7th are Rathalos related. A co-op 9-star turn quest called Dread King and Molten. There's also another Rathalos quest as well. A co-op 9-star quest, a Slate quest called Dread King Rathalos. This is just going to be able for you to be able to go ahead and farm them if you need them. And a co-op 9-star quest, Slate quest for Molten Tigrex. Remember that Molten Tigrex is being added today on September 30th, but he doesn't have a Slate quest today. He's going to have one next week. The sub-quest 8-star Sky Rendering Roar is another Rathalos quest. I believe it's a different type of Rathalos, but I'm not sure which one. And a sub-quest 8-star King Among Kings. I believe there's 2 Rathalos in that one, or different ones. And the last quest that you're going to be able to get on October 7th is a delivery 8-star quest called Immediate Proposition. And that pretty much encompasses all the updates, all the brand new monsters and quests added in for the update number 4. This is pretty much the one that we're supposed to be getting as of the end of September and beginning of October. But then what they're officially calling update number 5 actually begins on October 21st. And this one is the one, the big one, that's introducing FATALIS, High Difficulty Battle. This one's pretty much one of those that they kind of tried to keep a secret, although they teased it a little bit, and we kind of knew that it was going to be presented a while back. So we now know that FATALIS officially is coming into Monster Hunter Stories 2 on October 21st. Along with it, there's going to be 3 brand new quests. A co-op 9-star turn quest for FATALIS. This is pretty much just a normal quest with him in it. Obviously, it's going to be high difficulty because it is 9 stars. It's definitely end game related. We also have a co-op 9-star explorable quest called Deviant Den. Presumably, this one is going to be for eggs and stuff like that. And of course, a delivery 8-star special quest called Whetting My Appetite. So that's pretty much going to be the 3 quests that you're going to be able to get on October 21st as part of the 5th update. But that's not all. On October 28th, they're pretty much bringing all the updates, at the very least, available from the roadmap into completion. Pretty much, we're going to be able to get 2 brand new monsties on October 28th. Gold Rathian and Silver Rathalos. These are 2 pretty high-end popular monsters that people have been expecting to see. They're going to finally be added with 7 brand new quests as well. The first one is a co-op 9-star explorable rare subspecies den quest. Another 9-star co-op Slate quest for Gold Rathian. This is just so you can go ahead and farm Gold Rathian parts. Another co-op 9-star Slate quest for Silver Rathalos. Again, you can farm your Silver Rathalos parts in this very specific quest. There's a co-op 9-star turn-based quest called Yin and Yang. Presumably this one is going to be pinning you up against both of them together. There's a sub-quest 8-star Full Golden Moon and a sub-quest 8-star Shining Silver Sun. So I'm not necessarily sure what the difference would be between the 8 and 9-star quest for Silver and Gold Rathian, Silver Rathalos and Gold Rathian, but this Golden Moon and Silver Sun are pretty much the same thing. So maybe one is a little bit easier than the other, presumably, but I'm not necessarily sure. Then, of course, a Delivery A-Star special quest called A Corny Request. When you start looking at the roadmap heading into the future, that's it. After Silver Rathalos and Gold Rathian, and of course Fatalis being added into October, that's the end of the roadmap. In fact, the page that they showcase in the trailer itself, the new trailer, doesn't necessarily add anything else. That's the end of pretty much all the updates that we know of as of now. I want to make that very clear. That's just of the information that they provided us with. If they go ahead and update that roadmap for the future, we'll obviously report on it or whatever. But other than that, that's all they pretty much went ahead and showcase. I did find it interesting that I do think they did this game dirty because they showcased all the information when it comes to Monster Hunter Stories 2 on PC and on Switch after they spoke about not just Monster Hunter Rise's collaboration, the 5th collaboration, but also after they revealed Monster Hunter Rise coming to PC, of course, something that we expected, but you know, a lot of people weren't necessarily paying attention, so they talked about that, and of course, everyone tuned in to see more information on Sunbreak. And then, even after the concert, they went ahead and they spoke about Monster Hunter Stories 2. I think this game got done really, really dirty. Usually, whenever they go ahead and they talk about Monster Hunter games in general, not just Rise, but just stories as well, they always talk about stories first. They lead with that, and this time they left it for the closing, which on its own, this game should not be closing because it's just kind of like, when you look at the metrics like likes and dislikes and like click-throughs and stuff like that, like Monster Hunter Stories 2 content doesn't necessarily get as much traction as Rise. It's just kind of like by nature. It is a very niche RPG. It sold 1 million units, you know, it is what it is. Where Rise is like up to 8 million, is getting a massive expansion, and this is the funny thing. Monster Hunter Stories 2, presumably, according to the information that we reported, was supposed to be able to get some brand new expansion released, or at the very least announced, in this Tokyo Game Show presentation. But that didn't happen. We didn't see it mentioned anywhere. They didn't touch upon it any time. So it's one of those things where, like, it's really weird that A, they decided to close with Monster Hunter Stories 2, and then they didn't even bother to mention the expansion. But at the end of the day, do keep in mind, like I mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, the Fatalis and Silver Rathalos and Gold Rathian updates are the last thing that we have in the roadmap. So presumably going into the future, they're probably going to have another Capcom presentation, most likely showcasing Sunbreak and stuff like that. And that is where they're going to talk about, presumably again, the expansion for Monster Hunter Stories 2. But it's just one of those things where, like, weirdly enough, they didn't bother to mention it. They didn't bother to even get into it. And I just found it weird that they closed with this game, you know, when it's just kind of been left out after the roadmap being finished, you know, to the dust, essentially. But that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you guys found it informational. I am trying to cover all the information that we got, at least the tidbits of information that we got for each one of the games into the Tokyo Game Show presentation, which was a lot. It was a pretty long presentation, and there is a lot of information to go over. But if you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up. And as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.